All right, so this week we're talking about feminism and basically like the women's role that we've seen in literature thus far that we've read, and also kind of the role of man. I think as far as the men go, I think it's kind of one of the quicker topics to talk about because I feel like the men are kind of portrayed the same kind of way. Like they're either handsome or well off or they're this upper class almost so to speak above the women and I think it's been kind of consistent, and I think you have to really look at the pretty much all the authors. I'm pretty sure all the authors we've read so far were men. So you have to see that there's a bias there. So when you look at women, you have to think of too that men are the ones writing these books as well. So you have to look at that, they kind of stereotype women because they don't really, they don't know how women are other than what they see. And so they kind of put them in these categories, and that's where they kind of all stay. I think at least everything kind of got changed a little bit this week, but I think when you look at the core of it, I think it's still the same. So especially in Editha or Editha, I don't know how you say her name, but Editha, when you look at that story, so she wants George to go off, and they kind of show that the man is almost kind of subordinate to her in this story. But when you look at the root of it, that that if you look at that, if all women are like falling in these categories, that basically she's kind of portrayed as crazy almost. Even though she's saying that George's mother is the crazy one, but when you really look at the grand scheme of it, like she's realistically the crazy one in the story. That she is, you know, basically want him to go to war, and that he was kind of just meh about everything, and she wanted him to go fight, and she was going to break up with him. So I think it kind of shows that she was kind of crazy, and she almost liked the fact that he died in this war. Granted, I don't think she wanted him to die, but I think she almost in the end was kind of happy because it was kind of this whole like big spiel. If you look back at like the White Heron, yeah, I believe the White Heron. Um, we have this girl that was very influenced by the man in the story and kind of subordinate to him. Now, granted, in the end, she ended up not giving away where the white heron was, so I think it kind of showed that she was a little bit stronger in the end. Whereas if she would have given away the white heron, it kind of showed that all the way through. Also, if you look in Sweatshop Romance, you look at the woman in that, she was just kind of very timid and didn't really want to step out of her shell any, and the guy kind of pushed her into that role. So I think realistically for me, the common theme between all of these is realistically that the women was almost going off the man or subordinate to the man throughout all of these. Um, like I said, it's kind of it goes back to realistically that you have to look at that the majority of these authors were men, and they were just writing about women instead of women writing about women who know more about women, which I think you'll see that as we read more female authors, that you see that you get a better side of women, and they're not necessarily always falling into these stereotypes.